Of course.
Everybody. The only person, and they recognize is that can strategically confront Atiku by every other thing is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whether you like him or not.
But let me ask this question to Comrade Gani Mohammed.
Right. Don't you think? Let me finish my this thing.
Okay.
That is the only man that we know. And because the president and the northern elite are looking for somebody who could be taken just like a chief justice. Just contest it. It's not going to be an election at all. Atiku will just have his own, but the only person that we know has everything takes that could confront Atiku is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that's the way they are serious about playing the game. If they confront themselves in the election, the North will still have power. Power still be retained in the North. Don't forget, two things have happened. Sometimes a video went viral where Buni, Lawan, and all the northern political elite in APC went to Atiku's house. They had a very serious meeting. When Buni was still the chairman, the caretaker chairman of APC, and we are taking this very seriously.
Okay, now a lot of Nigerians. Okay, before I ask my next question,
let me quickly add this. There are hard evidences that the northern elite is not willing to relinquish power to the south. Let me give you instances. President Buhari has just a male child. Just a male child. And when the guy was wedded, it was the same article that was the father of the groom. Father of the groom. Buhari was alive and is still alive.
Are you saying there is an ongoing conspiracy?
I'm only trying to situate how they started flirting Buhari and Atiku or the non-elites. It could be some people behind the scene arranging this coincidence. In quotes, he became the groom's father on the day of wedding, and that's the only son of the president. Only son. You know what a son means to them all here. Only son. Atiku was the.
And so what are you insinuating?
I'm coming. Not quite long thereafter, there was a case again on issue of nativity of Atiku, indigeneity of Atiku. The Supreme Court, people that led by one of them, discharged Atiku, that is a citizen of this country. That has not stopped the trend. You recall, not recently, the same President Buhari pardoned Atiku associates who had been condemned, who had been sentenced by Supreme Court. This associate of Atiku and PDP, he gave them pardon. And remember, the trust upon which Buhari came to power is anti-corruption. And these people were jailed for corruption or corruption cases. And he went there to remove them. It tells you that the relationship is growing. After that, the Buni and Co, like Barrister said, went to Atiku to converse with him. Eventually, you see how Hayatu first stepped down for, what is it called? Stepped down for Atiku. A few of them stepped down. The next man, Tambuwa, did not. If he had stepped down earlier like others, perhaps Southern element would have walked around it. They put them to the point where once a Tambuwa
point of no return.
Yeah, point of no return, they will become helpless. The Southern aspirants, particularly the River State Governor, Nelson Wike, will become helpless. You know, Wike said at the point that they had even finished everything before Tambuwa came back to say that he's stepping down. It was not sudden to Tambuwa. How he stepped down.
It was part of the game plan.
Yeah. Yes. How he stepped down was not a surprise to Ayu, who is the national chairman of PDP. Because all The subsequent day,
this analysis you're trying to,
yeah,
to give now,
yeah.
comrade
No,
Gani
this
Mohammed,
before you
how
ask your
does it
question,
how does it affect the APC?
I'm coming to that. The subsequent day, the team went to Tambuwa's house and made him the man of the match, the hero of the convention, because he perfected the plot. How it affected APC is that when you see the hands of the big players of APC in this game, you get worried. Jonathan suffered the same fate. It was PDP top-ranking people that removed him from office. Even the national chairman Muazu, the national chairman of PDP at the time Jonathan was contesting, was working for APC because they insisted that enough is enough. They wanted a northern president. And you see senators, all of them, they camping to APC then. It has started.
Okay, now you said a lot right now, and from everything you said, it's still the same. It's still around the same issue of zoning.
Yeah.
You think that APC
Yeah.
should zone to the south? Now we have a lot
It
of
is
south.
not issue. Barrister Jabez said it's for convenience and whatever. I say beyond convenience. It is our law. It is in our law that the power must change, must rotate. We have federal character. You said why is it that the federal character recognizes that there are zones in our law?
It is not bound by law, but it is just a convention.
Federal character
A
is
lot of
by law.
lawyers have argued that federal character and zoning arrangement do not look alike. They're just they are not the same thing. They just have things in common. Zoning arrangement is not bound by Nigeria's constitution.
No,
It is just
federal
a
character is
convention.
zoning. Federal character is zoning. The attitude is the question you are discussing. Federal character is to
Zoning
zoning.
zoning is a political arrangement.
Is Nigeria not a political entity?
Okay, now
Is the fact that is the fact that when you are doing recruitment, seven candidates should come from Lagos and 20 should come from Katsina. Is not political. Is it church matter? Is it in the mosque?
You're a lawyer. Would you liken the tenets of federal character to that of zoning arrangement, rotational presidency?
Well, legally, because one is sanctioned by the constitution, you could say they are different. But in terms of practice, it remains the same thing. In terms of actual practice, what is a federal character?
One is bound by, if you ask
that's
me,
exactly
one
what
is
I
bound by
said.
morality,
Yes.
the other is bound by law.
But still, it is still within the same political.
Okay, so now talking about zoning within the APC between the north and the south,
Yes.
there are lots of southern aspirants within the APC, and a few northern, more of southern than northern actually.
Yes.
Do you think that the southern aspirants have a good chance against the northern aspirants? What do you think is the way out of this tight situation for the southern aspirants?
What I've discovered about the Nigerian elite is that they always enjoy the glamour of the system. That's number one. Most of these aspirants know that they cannot even step from the inside their toilet to even their bedroom when it comes to the presidency. Take for example, we have an aspirant from Ondo State who has not even visited our town or Kakogo, but he's an aspirant for the presidency. And even in Ondo State, we have not even seen.
Are you saying he's not competent?
That is not the issue of competence. It's a game. These people are playing a game. They are setting themselves towards whoever wins, whatever. Then it was a former presidential aspirant. Is still going into their
for profiling.
So it's that's one.
Okay.
Then the other thing is that you see, look at the PDP primary. The people that are shouting, "Hey, solanization, all this." When push comes to shove, they still give themselves over to the same people they said fulanizing or whatever them. So when you look at the Nigerian elite, I've seen the Nigerian state as a big cake. They just stepped there to share it. Look at the way people came out to pay 100 million from APC nomination forms.
In
Many
a
of
country
them in a country
that pays 80,000 naira per month as a minimum.
So you discover that it's a game. But for me, for anything, whether legal or moral, if you want Nigeria to stay, the North cannot, they should even bury the idea of retaining power. Because whether you like it or not, aside from the fact that if you do not pick a candidate that can confront
The major opposition.
Atiku, money for money, strategy for strategy,
Contacts,
popularity for
reach.
for reach, then we should know that one, the game is over. I want to say the game is over for APC. And the APC is just an association. Those of us in APC know. It's just an association.
Nigerians are aware as well.
Okay. We have not developed a party. Even the Sakama J they are doing all over the place shows that we have not melted together as a party. So
let me quickly add this before you go for that. The national chairman of APC, the current national chairman of APC, was not brought in by accident. He was brought in for this purpose. Remember, he was the chairman of Northern Caucus in the House when he was the senator. The same man, just 2 years ago, said there was no basis. This issue was not even in the public space. 2 years ago, he was granting an interview to this day. I read it not quite a week ago. He said those who are asking for zoning presidency, that they are just making some noise.
Okay, would you say that the president, Muhammadu Buhari, does not have the right to choose or to pick his successor?
He has no right.
He has no such right.
What if he does that at the end of the day and he picks another candidate? What would happen to
anyhow he does it, it will kill the party.
The party is dead.
Essentially, like everybody is aware, APC, it was just a convenient platform for people to acquire
the amalgamation of based on interest.
Strange bedfellows. The people we had criticized, the people we had called names, they became so desperate, particularly the leadership of APC at a national level, the national leadership. They became desperate. They went for Jonathan. Imagine asking Jonathan to come and become
that's not even clear yet.
They went. If he obtained form, he said he was not aware.
He denied that.
Okay, he went to national chairman of PDP. He couldn't deny that. He went to the cousin or uncle of Buhari.
To what effect?
Daura.
To what effect?
To negotiate, to lobby.
But the what you know is, good luck. That's not even an issue because his name is not even on the list of aspirants. So now moving forward, yes. A lot of people have argued that within the APC governors at the state level, there have been impositions. There have been cases of imposition and picking of successors in court now, not literally, but then in court. Do you think that the governors have the moral standing to stand against the president in case he decides to go for a consensus candidate?
It is not about governors. How many of them?
They're also part of the APC.
No, I'm not saying they are not part. In fact, they are critical stakeholders in the party. But the question remains: the system is not about them. In Ondo State, a former governor imposed a successor. He failed. That you want to impose does not mean that person will become the president.
If we begin to talk about this, I'm sure Barrister Adeshafe would be able to allude to some of the things I've said earlier. You were still here about 3 days ago to complain about a seeming case of imposition in your senatorial district.
Yes.
That's part of the issues we're talking about.
That is why they are resisting it. Are you aware that those people...
What is good for the goose, they say is good for the gander.
Excuse me. The one you have cited, the people are resisting it.
Okay.
They resist it everywhere. In fact, it is unfortunate that some of these the elements trying to impose are poor students of history.
Absolutely.
Because wherever you find that, they fought at the end of the day. Or in all cases, almost in all cases, they fought. They would disagree. They will become enemies. So why would you want to repeat same? Particularly in a system that is so sensitive now. Nigerian state is grappling with issue of unity. Nigerian state is grappling with issue of security. Economy is in parallel state. Social services are comatose. Everything appears not to be working in this country. And you see, even people you think are enjoying the nation or their circumstances are okay, they want to run away from Nigeria. You go to the embassy, you ask, what is happening? Even professionals who should remain in the country, who will still be able to feed, pay their bills, are running away. People are trekking out of the country. It is as bad as that. When you impose this thing and you change this equation and refuse, or possibly, it's not just making a southern person a candidate of APC. Like Ajihafe has said, that southern person must be a person with grit, muscle,
that can win the election.
that can win the election. Excuse me, let me give you.
Before you go ahead, by your standards,
Yes.
you think that whoever is fielded by APC as the candidate must have grit and all of those things you've mentioned.
Yeah.
But by the standards of the president, he thinks that in keeping with the established internal policies, that's according verbatim, quoting from what he said verbatim now, in keeping with the established internal policies of the party, and as we approach the convention in a few days, therefore I wish to solicit the reciprocity and support of the governors and other stakeholders in picking my successor who would fly the flag of our party for election into the office of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2023. That's according to him. Now, he goes ahead to say that whoever the party will be fielding should be able to win elections, should be a candidate that Nigerians would accept. Now, if this the aspirant that
I've gotten your question. I've gotten your question.
Let me land. The aspirant that you think has the grit, has the capacity, has the financial muscle, whatever, to go ahead into the election and probably defeat the PDP is not acceptable by Nigerians. What then happens?
No. Are you suggesting or insinuating that the Buhari's choice will be more acceptable than what other Nigerians will prefer? Let me tell you something. The fact that Buhari will be supporting a particular candidate is a bigger hurdle. It is better for even APC candidates to be dissociated from Buhari. It becomes an albatross on anybody who is branding Buhari as somebody. One of the aspirants, prominent one among them, said he will continue from where Buhari ends his whatever. Few days after, he changed it. He has been battling to correct that notion that you want to continue with whatever. What is Buhari offering the nation?
Let me even come in here. Okay. You see, let's look at it from this scenario. Does the president has the sole right to pick a successor?
Maybe with the support of the APC chairman.
Even the support of the APC chairman. Then what is the basis?
Man who was a PDP governor for 8 years.
What is the basis?
PDP senator for 8 years.
Basis of the delegates. So it is one of these unknown ideas that these people create and give us to they think we can just swallow it.
APC is known to always spring surprises at the very
that's what we are saying. But we are saying that with the current situation, Buhari does not have the name calling. If Buhari were to be going for a third term now, he would lose woefully.
You never can tell.
I know. It's a fact.
We all know.
We are on the field now. We are the.
We belong to this party.
What we did in 2015,
pro bono for free.
We did in 2019. We cannot subscribe our name, our intellect, our capacity to doing it for a Buhari or any of his candidates at this point in time. What we are saying is that Buhari has not shown to us that he did not show to us that he had the capacity to deliver. He didn't deliver, he never delivered. So any candidate he puts forward cannot deliver. And Nigeria will be in deeper shit. Having said that,
This
it
could
is
be
my position. Let me
be,
comment on the area of whether some is it was some our chairman and Oga Patapata in all the government houses across Nigeria, what they are doing or whatever. It is noted that they too, they are part and parcel of the problem that is conflicting and affecting this system. No governor has the sole right, the capacity to impose anyone on anybody. No chairman of any party has the capacity, the right to impose anybody on anyone. And that is the issue we are talking about in Akoko Southwest, Akoko Southeast Federal Constituency, that we will not accept. Let people that wants to vote go out there and vote for their preferred candidate. Whoever wins becomes the candidate of the party. But when somebody sits somewhere else and say he wants to compensate, I want to give this because of this favor or not, and you go, you say that inside the house, you come out, you tell us another thing.
Okay, there are two issues now.
Yes.
You just said that whoever the president would field,
Yes,
in your own words, would not hold the waters, would not be able to,
the
deliver.
facts are there.
What if?
Yes.
I don't want us to preempt here. We do not know the intentions of the president.
That's the only thing we do in politics.
What if the president ends up fielding your aspirant?
Of course. The fact is still that even my aspirant, whatever
Your preferred aspirant.
Yes, is still saying that let everybody do one man, one vote.
Let me even tell you this. Let me tell you this quickly. I pray he does not openly support my own and prefer candidate.
Who's your preferred candidate?
I have not even announced it, and I'm not going to announce it here. Everybody knows that. People have been pressing me. Okay. But the fact is this: I pray President Buhari will not, and shall not never openly identify with my candidate, because it becomes a burden. Will you say I want to continue from where Buhari ends his government?
It's not possible.
You see, we condemned Jonathan. We were here. We worked for Buhari. We did everything humanly possible. I came from United States of America 3 times on my own personal bill to come and campaign for Joe Buhari for free. If he gives me money today to campaign for him, I may pocket the money and run away. It tells you
that is an indictment on your personality.
Which, what is the greater indictment for a president? I told my friends, I told people are calling me on social media. They call me out. Gani Mohammed Ajowa, come and apologize for preaching Buhari.
Yeah, people apologize.
Now, talking about still on the issue of rotation. Now, that's about the in thing right now.
Yes.
It is the rally point on both platforms with the PDP, with the APC. That is the rallying point. Now, do you think that within the APC, you want it to be zoned? A lot of people, members of the party, want the tickets to be zoned to the south. In the south, there are 2 regions.
Okay.
The Southwest and the 3 regions. Thank you. Sorry, that was a very costly mistake. Southeast, South, and Southwest.
Yes.
Now, there are aspirants who are from these three zones.
Yes.
How do you think the party or the aspirants could marry their interests and then come up with somebody, a viable candidate to front for the other one, the other aspirant?
Thank you very much for that. Let me steal from the onset that the PDP has never known to give since 1999. There has never been a PDP candidate who came from the South. So, if you like, I'm using it in quotes, PDP has always been a northern party supported by some surrogates from the South, particularly the Southeast and the South. Just take it. The South has never voted for APC or any of the party that formed APC. The Southeast has never voted for it. Go and check it. So now if now the APC decided to now zone its presidency to the South, please, you go into an election to win, not to do humanitarian this thing. You cannot leave a place where you can win election, where you have always won election, and take your presidency or your candidates to a place where people have never shown a legitimate wish to vote for
Okay,
you.
what about
Wait
what
a minute.
if an aspirant from the minority is picked, and then other parts of the South rally around him and support him to
It is
victory?
not possible.
What do you mean by pick? Is it just somebody Buhari saying, okay, you?
I'm talking about reaching a consensus within the South.
There can never be a consensus like that.
Why should there be consensus
in that?
Why should there be consensus? So these things to the South, we have three zones: the South, the Southeast, the Southwest. Let them go and compete for
Let them compete.
That will produce a most acceptable candidate for the party. Then we go by that. I am not even saying, okay, Southeast does not vote for APC, has not been voting for APC, good. But if they could find somebody who could muster enough electoral resources to win and become the candidate of the party, so be it, will support the candidate.
Okay, if you're just joining us, the conversation is live on Facebook. You can drop your comments there. We'll read them out as much as we can. And please endeavor to also share the video to your friends and loved ones. Before we go into the issues emanating as a result of the last APC primaries in Ondo State, quickly, between Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Yemi Osinbajo, how do you think the fracas, whether we like it or not, it could be subtle, but there's an ongoing fracas within both, given the fact that it's been believed that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is the godfather, the benefactor of Yemi Osinbajo in past times. How do you think both of them can come together at this point to better the chances of the Southerners?
As far as I'm concerned, the issue is this. Politics is all about interest. Politics is all about interest. It is given that Asiwaju had helped, assisted. If anybody wants to deny
it, is his political godfather. Many believe so.
Of course, nobody can deny that.
Yes.
And still, we cannot deny Yemi Osinbajo the legal right or whatever to aspire, even having reached the position of vice president of this country. Yemi Osinbajo was my lecturer in the university. He taught me law of evidence. He's a pastor. He is a professor, and we belong to the same legal profession. That is where it stops. I am a politician. I want to win election, and I know the capacity of both Yemi Osinbajo and Asiwaju when it comes to party. Remove presidency from Yemi Osinbajo. Remove Buhari from this thing. Yemi Osinbajo is Yemi Osinbajo. But Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has built enough political infrastructure in this country that even when you remove anything from him, he is still there, gidigba. So for me, it will be my own wish that Yemi Osinbajo puts aside his vice presidency, this thing, and set aside his wish to become the president of this country, because he will just be made a mincemeat if he gets the domination. Which within me, look at the caliber of people that follows him around. Is it a Professor Adeyeye or is it my brother from Akoko?
Okay.
Dr.
Okay, a few comments from
Dr.
Facebook. Ogundaunsi Ifedayo says their words should be used against the party. No primary in Lagos and some APC states. The imposed candidates, Buhari should also pick. And moreover, who are you working for? I don't know who this person is referring to, but that's just the message. Okay. And Prince Adedoyin Adeola says Buhari has every right to pick his successor, just like other governors have been doing in their states. You know, we've already touched on that here too. Ogundaunsi Ifedayo says that presidential candidate that you do not or that does not visit your village or town is globally acceptable than you. I think that's directed to Barrister Ajishafe when you said somebody from your area is not popular enough. People know him around the world. Stay in your town and let who wins the presidential election rule Nigeria. Okay. Okay. This person says Olabisi's questions not helping these guys. I think everybody knows they can listen to them. Well, I don't know what you mean by that. If you can boldly say it that Mr. President, which is from your party, never delivered anything, then what will give us the assurance that the new president from this field party will do us any good? These are questions from Nigerians.
Yeah, let me quickly respond to that of the man who said, or those who have been saying or said that Ashwaju imposed in Lagos, some governor imposed everywhere. Yeah, I normally tell people this. The late Sharaki, I grew up politically. I got my teeth in Kwara State, and I worked directly with late Sharaki because he's a permanent director general, was from Ondo State. The Dr. Okoro from Owo. He adopted some of us who are from Ondo State, who are in the University of London back then. I knew the system, I was there. He would not just pick. Sharaki would not just pick Sharaki the father. Sharaki process was a consensus. It will bring people from all 193 wards in Kwara State. One by one, it will attend to every ward. I'll be there. They will vote. They vote round to pick councillor, to pick council chairman, to pick assembly, even commissioners. Nobody will just sit down and write names. Consensus from local government to local government, you now recommend. You will now take it up. I don't know the process they use in Lagos, but I understand that there is a governorship or government advisory council. Maybe you discuss about that. It was these people at a time when they were to pick Ambodi. It was in the public place. Ashwaju went to Lagos. Ambodi was close to the first lady, Aisha Buhari. Aisha Buhari is close to Ashwaju. Everybody knows this. They used the guy to reach out to Ashwaju. Ashwaju agreed in Lagos. In Abuja, he got to Lagos. He called his people. They said that he would be alone to impose Ambodi on them. That's what they want. I will not know the exact process they use.
Okay, let me discuss quickly. The Lagos process is similar but decentralized. In the various, there are groups and there are persons. It is in these areas. There is a system of reward in Lagos. They look at it and they come together.
Okay, quick, because of our time, we would have to continue this conversation some other time. Akiyo Tugwenga says Buhari is not a good man that can give us good success. So Ashiwaju is a great man. I even pray I meet him. One good turn deserves another. Okay, this is another one from Akingbade Adeyemo. David, only Nigerian voters can determine who succeeds Buhari. Buhari and other politicians must choose their words carefully. He's free to have his anointed candidate or a candidate for his party and not a successor. Okay, the mention of success upholds a lot of Nigerians. Emi Rubin says, I think the Nigerian problem is Buhari. Let him leave. Then we Nigerians will be at peace. Okay. Jishafet Taiwo Joshua, I also believe the BAT is the only person that can stand toe-to-toe with Atiku. Let the delegates vote and you would be surprised BAT will emerge. Well, these are Nigerians. It has no connection with Adaba FM. These are opinions of Nigerians. And now, let's talk quickly about the crisis. Well, the APC chairman in Ondo State says there is no crisis in Ondo State regarding the outcome of APC primaries in some places.
People are already in
yes. What's the situation right now?
Missy, there's a 5 minutes back.
Constituency Instead for them to allow us to vote, they decided to, against the law of the land, against the electoral act, they brought the election to the Dome without the
That's
knowledge
part
of
of the issue we've been discussing.
and we say that let us vote in Akoko, Southeast, Southwest. Whoever wins becomes the candidate of the party. But if not, we have made our complaints to the appeal committees and we are waiting for them. Whichever way they decide, we still have other recourse.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Gani Mohammed, for coming on the show this morning. I really appreciate. We have to run because of our time. And Barrister Sholaji Shafe, it's been nice chatting with you.
Thank you.
It's been really engaging. My name is Olabisi Olaniyi Oluwasegun. We'll be back next week Thursday with another edition of the program. Thank you very much for listening. Good morning.
My name remains Olo.
What did you see? Ṣẹ́wà ẹ má má bínú bàbá yẹn máa ṣe dáadáa náà ni bàbá yẹn ò ṣe dáadáa.
By mentoring and selected individuals, not entire country. The mentor them on how to start a new business, expand existing ones, or create a personal project without taking money.
Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti wà lẹ́yìn Tinubu. Ó wà lórí YouTube, àrí ní Facebook, ó wà ní YouTube. Contrary opinion.